What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror? Well, in a previous Janice and Annie Chit-Chat, Janice taught something called the mirror exercise. And it is a really, really powerful way to change your inner dialogue. So here we have the 10-minute lesson. Janice teaches how to do the mirror exercise. Janice and I talk about how we were mean girls when we were young, but you have to watch to see what we really mean. And then we go into the neural pathways in our brain, that this is not hokey, this is actually science. So watch the mirror exercise, and we'll see you in another chit chat. Can you go over the mirror exercise? Because I love
Yes.
this one. Yeah.
Okay. So the mirror exercise is really looking in the mirror and saying that you love, honor, and respect yourself. Okay. And it's very interesting. Everyone's like, oh, that's silly. It sounds ridiculous. But when I have done it with my clients, I have found that it's difficult for a lot of women to look in the mirror, and men, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
and say that I love, honor, and respect myself. And they feel that it's just hard for them to do it. They choked, they literally cried, and they couldn't say the words.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I did it, I did find that it was very silly. Like I'm like, this is ridiculous. I love honor. Like I felt foolish doing it. But as I did it, I started to become comfortable with it. So if you do it and you start feeling judgment, you have to figure out, where did I get this judgment from?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this judgment coming from? Why am I awkward saying that I love and honor myself? Honor, a lot of times we have a lot of feelings and people do not honor them.
Yeah.
It is important that we honor our own feelings. It is important that we self-praise. So what I found doing this exercise that I thought was kind of foolish, but I did it because it was a lesson and, we were doing it in the class. What I found is that I was very critical of myself. I didn't realize how mean I was to myself because I would look in the mirror and go, oh no, this line. Oh my God. Oh, I look bad over here. Oh my God. And I was super critical. And I was so critical that I didn't even know that I could have starred in Mean Girls, but
For ourselves.
I could have starred in that movie, because I was really mean. And so every time that I said something negative about myself, which I didn't realize was all the time, I had to say 10 nice things about me.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, it got me out of that habit. And I do not miss that girl. Yeah. I do not miss the criticizing, the magnifying glass that I put myself under. Yeah. So now what happens is what we're doing when we do mirror work, you graduate to different levels. So we first thought, I love, honor, and respect myself. Sometimes we have to accept the situation we are in. I love, honor, and accept my situation I'm in now, but it's about coming from a place of self-love and really meaning it. Like when I first did it, I had a hard time honestly meaning it. And it doesn't matter. Like if you have a hard time looking in the mirror saying, I love, honor, and respect or accept myself, it's okay. It's okay because you're putting it out in the universe and the universe knows you're trying and it mirrors it back. Yeah. So it's very important to do it until it becomes comfortable. And what you will find is that once you start praising yourself, you're going to be able to accept praise, which, a lot of people have a difficult time. I was one of them. If someone said, I like your shirt. Yeah. You do? Well, I think there's a little hole over here. Like I couldn't accept it.
You'll point out, there's a hole in it.
Exactly.
You mean with this stain?
Yeah, exactly. I got it at Marshall's. You know what? I paid $10.99. It's like, women have a hard time. And if you are one of those that have a hard time, accepting a compliment, there's probably a lot of criticism coming from you in the mirror. Yeah. So really the exercise is every time you are in the mirror, I love and honor and accept myself. I had one client that, her childhood was very difficult. She never had people that had her back. Mm-hmm. She went to her mother turned her back. She went to the aunt turned her back. Wow. She went to family, everyone turned their back on her. So now she started with I love and accept, had a tough time doing it, but got there. And now what she says, every time she sees her reflection, every time she looks in a mirror,
Yeah.
I got you, girl. I got you.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Because we had to get to a place where we didn't get our validation from others. We got our validation within. And once she got there and we did another exercise in a child work and she met her younger child, it is there where she said, okay, I got you.
Girl.
I got you.
Yeah.
I love you,
Yeah.
and so now every time, and anyone listening to this, anytime you see a mirror or even a window and a reflection, I got you. I got you. I love you. Whatever is personal to you or what you need to hear, start saying it in the mirror. And every time you see that reflection, you're going to your car, you see your reflection. I got you. I love you.
Yeah.
You got this. Whatever you have to say. So you should do this about 300 times a day.
Well, you know what? Even just as you're saying it, I actually have a different feeling just from you repeating that, because obviously I'm repeating it in my mind. It literally is empowering. It changes the energy in our body. And the mirror, right?
Yes.
I'm talking about the hook of the association, right? Which
Mm-hmm.
science. This is not, it's science. I know I keep going over. So the mirror, or that first associate, the first thought, instead of, oh God, oh God, oh God, it's, no, you got this. I love, honor, respect. Like, you slowly over time change that association,
Yes.
When you
Yes.
talked about Mean Girls, what we didn't bring up here is that you and I actually know each other since second grade.
Yes.
And we were both really nice girls. We were not mean girls to other
No,
girls.
never.
But
Oh,
I
never.
completely get you with mean girls to myself. Like, I never, ever, ever would have known that that was your internal dialogue. Never. I thought you were sweet and kind and wonderful and funny and all those things. And never in a million years would I have thought that internally you were hard on yourself like that. But I was
Oh,
the
no.
same exact way, So
I think most people are, especially like when you come from big families and there was competition and like there was 6 girls in my family and, not that we were horrible, but, maybe it was my own conclusion that I made as a 5-year-old that I'm not as good or I'm not as smart. I'm not enough. That's another thing that you could do on your mirror, write with your lipstick. I am enough. I am worthy, and it's important, Annie, because a lot of times we are so mean to ourselves. Like I hear it all the time. I'm so sensitive to it. Like, I was with someone, they dropped something on the floor. I'm such an idiot, and I'm like, no, you're not, but we're
No, you
mean
do.
to
You
us.
recognize.
And that is why
Yeah.
when I say 300 times, we are wired. We are super coded and wired to be a little negative.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's from caveman times because we used to die if we saw a lion. Like we had to make sure that you saw a lion, you better run. That if you saw an avocado, you better, get it before we had the long winter and you couldn't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Like there was a thing of starvation then. We're not living in those times, but we're still wired to, be negative, to be fearful.
Yep.
And we've had to keep it in check. And the way you keep it in check is by repetition. And by saying like 300 times, like you drop something, oh, you're the best. Instead of saying, do the opposite. If you go in the mirror and I'm so stupid, say, you know what? I am so smart. Say the opposite.
Yeah.
And then you will develop new neural pathways in your brain. Yeah. But it takes...
True. Just like I said, it's science. We're not talking about something hokey here, like look in the mirror. Like, it is science. It's brain science. We have the ability to change the chemicals in our brain. Yeah.
It's like that child that is unruly. Like that's what I think of. Like when I first was trying to say the nice things, and then next time I go in the mirror, I go, oh God, what a pimple. Like I told you today, I have a dot on my nose, a little pimple trying to come out of my nose, but I used to be mean. Like it would ruin my day. It doesn't have that effect on me anymore. I've grown so much through this mirror work, But like, it's like an unruly child when you look in the mirror and something tries to come out. We're now trying to train that child to go to bed at 8 o'clock, and the kids go, no, but I never had rules before, and I'm not going now. You know, and it's like the same thing with our negative self-talk. It's like an unruly child that's coming out and biting you, and you have to put that child in its place. You've got to put your mind in its place.
Mhm.
You have to be the master of your mind, not the slave to it.
With emotions and with intention, that's really what solidifies it, right? Is when you, like you had said, and this is the thing. If you're looking in the mirror and say, I love, honor, and accept myself, and you're saying it, but don't really believe it yet, our brain doesn't know the difference. We're literally still creating the happy chemicals, right, in our brain. It's like it's a hack, right? So even though we might not internalize it yet, if you look in the mirror and you smile and say, I love, honor, and accept myself, you're changing your brain's chemical, as you said a big word, neural pathways. I say hook. I say association. So that was it. The mirror exercise. So effective. Remember, I love, honor, and respect myself. Say it with a smile, even if you don't believe it yet. Because in time, as you continue to do it, you will actually internalize that and believe it.